welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we will be doing yet another monthly TBR. I cannot believe that we are entering our 6th month of the year. Where has the time gone? I'm not sure, but this month I have 6 books that I have picked out. I do not have the majority of it in physical because I was thinking like, should I get them so that I can like read them physically. Right now I've been enjoying reading on my Kindle more because it's just nicer. It's just so warm outside, and sometimes I just want to bring like a light bag, a small bag, and I don't want to pick up like a whole hardcover with me. So I thought it's okay, I'm not gonna buy any books, and plus I'm also in a book buying ban, so that's why I haven't been buying books. I think if I were not in a book buying ban, I will probably not justify my Kindle situation. I will probably just get the books because I love buying books. But yeah, anyway, before we go through our TBR though, I usually do a recap of books that I did not manage to read the month before. And I sadly have to say, I really thought that I was going to finish all the books in that TBR, but I did not. I did not manage to get to one book, which is Redeeming Six by Chloe Walsh. I think it's just there's not enough time in a month, guys, to finish like 6 books. Although I read more than 6 books. Either way, that's beside the point. But yeah, I will want to read this very soon. I think it's like a summer romance. It's not a summer romance, but it's a contemporary romance. So I think I would love to read this in the summer as well. So I'm gonna be focusing on reading this month as well. So yeah, anyway, let's go through our TBR. I have 6 and I have 2 physically and the others not. So I think I'm gonna start with the book that I have physically. I've been seeing everywhere the new release of this book. Not of this book, of the second book of this series. And I feel like I've missed out because I have not managed to read this book in the 2 years that I have this book. Which is When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. A lot of people were like, oh my gosh, this book is a 6-star read. It's a god tier book. And obviously, I have to read it. That's the whole reason why I got it. But 2 years later, I still have not read it. I think it is quite nerve-wracking to get into a series where people are like saying really good things about it. And obviously, I'm always scared that my expectation will not be met. But I think with this book, it's gonna be good. I honestly don't know anything about this book, and I would like to keep it that way. So you will see it on the screen. I'm gonna try my best not to read the synopsis. Or if I really don't want to spoil myself, I'm just gonna leave it out for this one, guys. But yeah, When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. Really excited. I think I want to start this month with reading this book as well. We shall see though. The next book I have is a childhood book that I love to read. I think I read multiple times. I'm not sure how many times I read it. It was in my school library and I just picked out a book and I was like, covers look interesting. I'm gonna read it. Honestly, now that I'm an adult and I have the whole series, I don't know how can I get attracted to this kind of cover? I'm not sure. It is Ingo by Helen Dunmore. Look at this cover, first of all. I mean, there are a few covers and I don't know if this is the cover that I'm not sure. Anyway, but this is about a family who lives in Cornwall and then they discover the world of Ingo, which is like in the sea kind of thing, and you learn how to breathe underwater and you just get to experience the under the sea world. Obviously it gets like more stressful and stressful. I think I can just read you the back real quick. Swimming, surfing, exploring. Sapphire and her brother Connor enjoy a life by the sea in Cornwall. But why does Connor keep disappearing for hours on end? And who is the mysterious girl talking to him on the rocks? More importantly, what is she? Because it seems to Safi that the girl might just live under the sea. I actually don't remember anything about this book. I remember like the scenic or like the scenery explanation, description of Under the Sea, and it was so amazing. And I really want to read this, and it is quite a short book, so I really want to try and read this. And the thing is, since I work in design and I want to like expand my portfolio, I was planning on redesigning the cover just like for myself because I don't know if I want to look at this, guys. No shame to the person who designed this cover. I bet back then this is probably not bad. So yeah, I think this book came out in like 2012. That's like when I started reading properly, I think. Oh no, this came out 2005. I probably read it 2010 because I read it like middle school-ish. Anyway, I really want to revisit. Mainly I want to read this so that I can gauge and understand what I can put in the cover. I already did some sketches. I can take you guys along on like the process of designing like a book. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to pull it off because as much as I love seeing fan arts, I think I'm not the type of person that could visualize something really, really well just on the top of my head. So I'm not sure if I could do it, but I want to see if with my illustration style it would work out. Maybe. So that is that. And then moving on to the next 4 books. You know what? This month I kind of want to do 7 books. You know what? Let's go through the other 4 and then we can decide at the end if we want to add a 7th one. But the next book, I have my notes over here, guys. It is Our Perfect Storm by Carly Fortune. I have no idea what this is about, but she has been an author that I would love to read for a while now, since I've seen, is it Ever Summer After? The cover. And I was like, it could be such a good summery read, which I will be reading in the summer, later on in the summer. I thought like, it's so cool, but I know in one of her books there's like a cheating trope, and that's the one trope I will not make myself read. But I feel like I'm missing out for so long. I just want to read it. So I'm going to read her newest release, which is Our Perfect Storm. I know nothing about it as per usual, but you guys will be able to see it on the screen, obviously. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. The next book that I have is The Martian by Andy Weir. I read Project Hail Mary and I loved it. It was a 6-star read, and I never thought that a sci-fi series or a sci-fi book could make me feel like that, or could make me give them a 6-star read, because I don't think I'm a sci-fi person. I don't really gravitate toward like sci-fi, thriller, mystery, or even like fiction, lit fic. I'm more like romantasy, contemporary romance, fantasy, and sometimes mystery, but like very rarely. But mainly I think my main genre is romantasy. So yeah, so it's really, I don't know. I just want to try more sci-fi books, and obviously if I'm loving Project Hail Mary, I probably would enjoy The Martian too, although a lot of people say probably you won't love it as much, but you still enjoy your time. So sold. So yeah, I'm gonna be adding that to my TBR. And moving on to the next one is a continuation of a book that I read this month, which is Anne of Green Gables, and I'm gonna be reading the second book, which is Anne of Avonlea. Anne of Avonlea. I want to buy like the book so desperately, but the cover that I like, which is this, is so difficult to find here in Germany, and I can find like all of these covers, not this one specifically, and I'm getting quite angry because I really want to read it physically and tab it, because that's the one thing I really feel like I missed out on. I would have loved to tab Anne of Green Gables because of how just amazing that book was. That was a 5-star read. I think Anne of Avonlea could probably be a 6-star read. So I really want to tab it and I really want to annotate it, but I do not have this cover. So I might have to settle with like one of these. We shall see. We shall see if I will do that. Pretty much this series, like the Green Gables series, I think it's called, or is the series called Anne of Green Gables? The Anne series? I'm not sure. But the series, we're following Anne from super tiny, or from like the beginning of her life all the way to like adulthood, I think. And now we're just continuing. She just graduated, I think, and then she's gonna start working, or she's gonna start higher education like uni. And I'm really excited to just read. There's like a prospect of romance, which I always love because I love romance. But anyway, that is Anne of Avonlea. And moving on to the next book is, I'm not sure if I want to put this on this TBR, because it might be just a book that I pick up eventually one day and just read it. It's called The Second Bookshop by Denise. I'm not sure by whom, but you'll see it on the screen with the cover. I've heard some people say that this book is really good. I am unsure because I've seen some people rate this book like a 6-star read, but okay, some of the people meant like one person saying like, oh, if you want to read like a really good romance, second chance romance, read this one. And what I'm figuring out this year is that I think I really love a second chance contemporary romance, because Love in Other Words, that's like my favorite romance book of all time. Yeah, so I think I want to branch out to like second chance romances more. So we shall see if this could be a hit or a miss. But yeah, I'm really excited to pick this one up eventually. So that is pretty much our TBR. I can show you the 7th book that I want to put in, but I'm not gonna put it officially on my TBR, but I do want to read it this month. Mainly the reason why I want to read this book like soon-ish, because it is in my yearly TBR, and I don't think I'm even halfway with my TBR, so I really need to get a head start and read more books from there. So maybe I'll be reading this. It is Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Lightning Thief. So I've been reading like a lot of classics. I've been reading Harry Potter, or like children's classics, like Harry Potter, The Hobbit, and Lord of the Rings series. And I've just been wanting to read more iconic books. I've even read the Hunger Games series over here, so I thought let's continue with the trend. And I really want to read Percy Jackson and the Olympians, and we shall see if I enjoy this. If I do, I have 5 books in front of me, but the one series that I really want to try and read next year is the Narnia series. And I think last year or the year before that, I read all 13 books from Lemony Snicket. What was the name? The Unfortunate, what is it called? Is it called the series of Unfortunate Events? I'm not sure, but I will be reading this eventually very soon, since like one of the books are super short, but this is technically like a side project. I don't have to read this would be like a reread. So yeah, anyway, that is that. Per usual, before we end this, I'm gonna do a little bit of journaling, and I will catch you back here afterwards. So I really hope you guys enjoyed that. I finally got to use my summary sticker. I think I bought this probably somewhere 2 years ago and have not used it because I'm like, oh, it's too precious. Now is the time to use it. I already did it back there before I filmed this. So yeah, I'm really excited to just delve into my TBR. And now that it's summer, I'm trying to read something lighter because I feel like high fantasy and that kind of stuff, it's more winter time for me. I like to like cozy up beside like a really warm, I guess, radiator because I don't have a fire. And just like cuddle up and read something far, far away. But in the summer, I do like something a little bit more contemporary romance, or even if it's romantasy, I don't want the fantasy to be like in the front of it. I want romance to be in the front of it. But, or even like, I'm usually delving into mystery, thriller, like all this kind of genres that I don't really delve into in the winter, because winter is like specific time of year that I get to read like all this crazy high fantasy books. So yeah, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you are reading this June or like the start of summer. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you in my next one. Goodbye.